going to be a freshman in the fall. I currently go to Carroll High School here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's about 2 hours south of Adrian and about 2 hours north of Indianapolis, just to kind of give you an idea. I've lived here my whole life, a whole 18 years. As of today, the day that you're watching this, it'll be May 8th. It's my birthday, so finally 18. I'm kind of a baby of my class, I feel like, but I live here with my two parents, and I have two sisters. My older sister is going to be a sophomore at Purdue, and my younger sister is going into 6th grade. Let's see, I have two cats. I've never had a dog. Not that I don't like dogs, we just never had one. I'm going to major in elementary education, and I'm thinking about a Spanish minor, but I'm not really sure about that yet. We'll see. Yeah, so I started playing soccer when I was probably about 3rd grade, I think. And then I tried out for my first travel team when I was in 5th grade. And I was kind of in a weird situation where I went. It's actually not a club anymore, but at the time there weren't enough girls to make a girls team, so I was put onto an all-boys team. And I mean, for anyone that's scary, let alone a 5th grader who's never played on a travel team in her life. So I was really freaked out and I did not want to do it. But my parents said I didn't have a choice, so they made me do it, and I am grateful that they did. I think it really helped me, honestly, because, you know, especially at such a young age, having to play with boys and against boys made me faster and stronger. It forced me to adapt and develop a little bit quicker, which was a good thing, but at the time, I could not stand it. So the year after, I went to Fort Wayne Sport Club, and I've been there ever since. It's been a totally awesome experience. I've loved every coach, every teammate. So many great opportunities came out of that. So that's been something that's been really great for me. I guess something that wasn't so great was my high school soccer experience. And I know that's not the case for so many people. I always hear people talk about how much they enjoyed high school soccer. They love it. It's so much fun. But for me, I was kind of like, I wish I felt that way, you know? I never got that. So, my sophomore year, no, sorry, let me start freshman year. Tryouts, we had like 8 sessions, I think, 7 of which we were running on the track, which was terrifying to me because conditioning's always been a weak spot for me. Not a very great runner, and I felt like it was really unfair to be constantly observed and kind of tested and judged on our running abilities, and we only really got to play soccer that last session for like the hour that we were there. So that was really hard for me. I was really worried, and I felt like I wasn't going to make any team at that point just because, you know, like I said, it was never really my strong suit, and I just felt like I wasn't really given a fair chance. And I made JV, which was fine. I mean, I wasn't expecting to be a varsity all-star or anything. But then we started, you know, kind of practicing, and they told me, like, we have way too many defenders on this team, and we need to make someone into a forward, and we want you to do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I have never played forward in my entire life. And now high school, I'm like, this is so late. Like, there's no way I can do that. And they were like, well, you have to learn. So that's what I did. I played forward my whole freshman year, and going into sophomore year was a lot better. I played forward again, but it was almost too easy for me. I made JV again, which was kind of frustrating, and I'm sure is not the case for many of you. I'm sure a lot of you were 4-year varsity, but I was too. But yeah, I was on JV again, and I like tripled the pass leading scorers record. It was really frustrating because it was just not even fun for me anymore because it was so easy, if you know what I mean. And at the end of the season, I was put on the sectional roster, which I'm not entirely sure. It's a little different from Michigan. I don't know if that's the same as, I don't know. But we call it sectionals. It's basically our tournament. And in our last JV game, I got a concussion, so I never actually got to play with varsity until I was a junior, which is kind of crazy. So junior year, I finally made varsity, and again, still playing forward, and there was a senior who was amazing. She was making all-state teams like every year since she was a freshman, and so I didn't get much playing time as a junior. I played a little bit of outside mid, but I hated that too. So senior year, kind of the same thing. There were underclassmen who were better than me, just because, you know, they'd been playing their whole lives. They've been playing forward and outside mid their whole lives, which is fine. Like, good for them. It was just so frustrating for me, this whole process, all 4 years. They had literally never seen me play defense, ever. I literally walked in there having never showed them my soccer abilities. They just saw me run and said, "You're forward." And I was like, that's so, I don't know. To me, that was so unfair and so frustrating because, one, I felt like I could have proved myself. I never got the chance to do that. I kept telling them, like, please just let me show you. Like, I can be so much more useful on the back line than I ever will be up top. And they just never gave me the chance. And I was always just kind of pushed aside. There was always somebody else that they'd rather use instead of me. And it wasn't fun for me. I didn't play much. I didn't get very many opportunities. I was always kind of, like I said, pushed aside, looked down upon. There was always someone better than me. And that was really hard for me to deal with. And we conditioned a lot, which, I mean, it made me stronger mentally for sure, but it was hard. Like, I would sit in class during the school day and literally dread going to practice. I would just sit there and think about, I do not want to go to practice. Like, I would literally rather do anything than go to practice. It was like that for me, which was so sad. Like, high school almost made me quit the sport. There were so many times that I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just not. And, you know, I stuck with it, and I'm glad that I did, because I'm not one to give up on something. And, you know, I did bring some valuable things out of it. Like I said, I got so much stronger mentally. And, you know, I also learned how to play 2 new positions. I learned how to play center forward striker position, and I learned how to play outside mid, which I guess is pretty beneficial. I kind of can play all across the board now, but it was really hard at the time. And I know it's not a big thing in my life. Like, I've never had a season-ending injury. I've never really struggled too much in school. I've always had a, like, happy and healthy family for the most part. So I've been blessed. But that is something, it might be hard to believe, but that's something I really struggled with, was high school soccer. So, you know, it's over, and I guess I'm happy that it happened and I stuck with it, but it was really hard for me. So yeah, I guess I'm ready to move on. Some goals that I have for myself currently are to just kind of change my mindset. I want to be more positive. I want to be more optimistic, have a better outlook on life and on certain things. Like, when things get hard, I tend to go immediately to the negatives, but I want to get away from that. And I also want to pay more attention to just taking care of my body, watching what I'm eating and drinking, and getting lots of sleep, being active, things like that, especially now. It's a really good time to focus on bettering myself. I have a lot of extra time on my hands, as I'm sure we all do. And I think my key word is going to be mentality. As you probably could tell from my high school soccer experience, my story that I just told you, mentality was a huge thing for me. Even now, like I said, I want to use mentality not only to focus on, like I said, wanting to stay positive and, you know, be more optimistic. I also want to use that word as a reminder of, you know, I can do whatever I set my mind to, as cliche as it sounds. It's something that's going to push me and it's going to drive me. I want to use the word mentality because I want to just remember that, you know, everything's up here. I want to be reminded that, you know, of the things that I did go through and that I accomplished, and that I can do it again if I want to. And I just got to remember, you know, why I'm playing, why I'm here, and just to work really hard. I need to remember to be grateful for the opportunities that I have, and I need to take advantage of them. So mentality is going to be my word. And I guess I'll finish off by saying I'm super excited to play with you all and meet everyone and make some good friends. It's been really cool watching all these videos. I really like this. So hopefully I will see you guys in the summer. If not, fingers crossed for the fall then. So see you guys.